cups. 6,000 cups into 25 rupees. 1.5 लाख रुपया सवेरे 6 बजे आते हैं और 10 बजे तक बनाते जाते हैं. A simple class will pass out. He had to go to hospital to attend to one of his elderly aunts for a whole month, and he sat in the hospital and he realized, wow, there's a big idea here. He went about interacting with doctors, reading a lot of things about what herbs and can do what, and from there emerged the idea. Yeah, my 2 crores. If you go and see my all estimations, I said, kuch nahi to 2 crore to banata hi hai. Jai Narayan Nath. A lot of their stories are huge. You can go on the website and read. I write quite a few columns. This is fun. अरे यार, जब बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े लोग 1,14,000 करोड़ का टोपी लगा चुके हैं बैंक के लिए, ये बेचारा कौन है? पढ़ा होगा ना? 1,14,000 crore has been written off by banks, and the deputy governor of Reserve Bank comments that not a single guy in this list deserves to be even given 1 penny subsidy. And who are the people? The Malayals and all the world are there sitting. भूखा जो है वो 2,000 रुपए के लिए 10,000 रुपए के लिए अगर जाता है लोन के लिए, उसको इतना बड़ा सा लिस्ट पकड़ा जाता है, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेके आओ. और जो एयरक्राफ्ट में जितनी मॉडलिंग कराते हैं उसको 7,000 रुपए दे दिया, 7,000 करोड़ दे दिया. तो पैसा दे दो. India got to make change. I'm talking here simply because each one of us have got to make a change. The impact that we need to cause, and that's what should be our larger goal. Okay, how can we impact? There are people out there who are impacted. There's one gentleman called Gaurav Jani. I'm trying to tell you stories to help you understand. Yeah, what? This gentleman is crazy about travel. How many of us want to travel around the world? Everybody wants to travel. And how many wants to make a lot of money? Very, very interesting. Travel में झटके हाथ उठता है. जैसे भाई बोला, अच्छा उसने भी उठाया, मैं भी उठाया. So we are actually in Indian context, the spirituality, unfortunately, spirituality that comes along with it will tell you as much पैसे की मत बोलो. लेकिन अंदर में भी इसलिए करना है पैसे की जाने. और व्यक्त करने के लिए पैसे नहीं. Yeah, Warren Buffett has written 99% or 90% or 95%, those numbers are material in the big number. Return all his wealth to Bill and Belinda Gates. Not a macha maru. 99? Yeah. Making sense? Ajit Premji has given away 25,000 crores to make education as well. Am I making sense? Money is not bad. How do you deploy money? Metro होते हुए तुम कार में ट्रैवल करोगे, then that's a problem. So you have it, but where to deploy what is that's all. Okay, you should not worry. So this gentleman is crazy about travel. He has made traveling his passion and his profession and his life. Team camera, all of these are videos are there on this. Works are all there on YouTube. 3 cameras. एक सर पे अपने helmet पे, एक गाड़ी के handle पे, and one more camera in his dicky. The whole movie, all movies are through only these 3 cameras. Yeah, an amazing set of movies. Lived with people on the Tibetan plateau in the deepest of the winters, in the igloos and whatnot, and in their food. And people like Discovery Channels buy those films. And there are many, many more who want to sponsor uske scooter ke upar ek label lagana. Have you heard recent story about a whole family from Bangalore which went to Paris? Huh? In a car? Just imagine 40 countries that traveled. And everything was sponsored by companies. Of course, जुनून होना चाहिए, सोच होना चाहिए, विजन होना चाहिए। उसको पैसे लोग बहुत लोगों के पास है, जब when they think that yes he or she is going to deliver, they'll say all the money is yours, come on, take it. Making sense? Yeah. So that's the excitement of life. Have the vision, have the passion, and let people chase you. Okay. So I will perhaps show a couple of things. I still have some time, but let me just see if you come to brass tacks. You want audio here? Huh? Okay.
Especially with a lot of hard work and a little luck, and here's the inspiring story of a girl from Punjab who makes it through the civil services exam with flying colors despite the odds. For Ranjit Singh, a peon at a Tehsil office in Morinda, Punjab, it's a proud moment. His eldest daughter, Sandeep, has made it to the Indian Administrative Service, bagging the 137th rank in the civil service exam. Sandeep, who holds a civil engineering degree, says it's a dream come true. अब तो सब जानिए कि सिर्फ आप कियन है सब तहसील में है तो मुझे लगता था कि मेरे पापा ने क्लास 4 एम्प्लॉय हैं मुझे इसी डिपार्टमेंट में सबसे टॉप पे पहुंचना है. Given his modest salary and 3 children to look after, it has been a tough journey for Sandeep's father. But he never let any constraint come in the way of his children's studies. A felicitation ceremony organized by Ranjit's friends was also attended by the collector of Ropar. The Chief Minister of Punjab has also congratulated the family on Sandeep's success. Her dream is to work against female feticide, a big problem in Punjab. With Aman Patel in Ropar in New Delhi, Shivani Bedi for NDTV.
Shiva. संघर्ष हमारे जीवन में बहुत ज्यादा है, लेकिन हमारी पढ़ाई को लेकर हमारे बाबूजी ने कभी भी मतलब है कि कोई समझौता नहीं किया, उसके लिए उन्हें जो भी करना था. एक समय ऐसा था कि रहने के लिए घर नहीं था, तो फिर स्थिति ऐसी आई कि कैसे रहा जाए, मतलब कैसे क्या हो जाए. तो माँ लोग चली गई मामा घर, माँ और दोनों छोटी बहन. हम नहीं गए क्योंकि हमारी पढ़ाई की 5वीं कक्षा का मैं विद्यार्थी था. तो मुझे आज भी याद है कि एक आदमी केवल सहयोग के लिए लिया गया था और बाकी ईट मैं पकड़ाता था, बाबूजी खुद कर नहीं लेते थे और खुद मिट्टी का गारा से बनाया और हम ये सब किए थे. तो ये सब जिंदगी का अनुभव है, मैं इसे कभी भी संघर्ष मानता हूँ. दुख नहीं है ये, संघर्ष. दुख और संघर्ष में अंतर ये होता है कि दुख होता है कि जिसकी क्षतिपूर्ति नहीं हो सकती, किसी माँ के लिए उसके बेटे से अलग हो जाना या असामयिक मृत्यु, ये तो दुख है. लेकिन ये तो जीवन के अनिवार्य अंग है, इसको संघर्ष कहते हैं और संघर्ष हर एक आपको पढ़ाने के लिए खेत बेचे थे? जी हाँ, हमारे 80% खेत बिक चुके हैं. और जब पहली बार सिलेक्ट नहीं हुए तब उन्होंने क्या कहा था? हाँ, उन्होंने एक चीज कहा था, मैंने ये चीज बाद में मैंने जाहिर भी किया कि इस भावना को. तो उन्होंने कहा था कि हम बोले कि बाबूजी पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, हम ट्यूशन पढ़ाएंगे मुखर्जी नगर में या यहाँ पर मिल जाते हैं यहाँ पर. बोले कि नहीं, तुम ट्यूशन मत पढ़ाना और तुम अपनी पूरी पढ़ाई जो है अपने पढ़ाई पर ध्यान दो. धूप में मत चलना, ऑटो में चलना, क्योंकि धूप में चलोगे तो थक जाओगे और पढ़ाई पर उसका बुरा प्रभाव पड़ेगा. अरे तुम्हारे लिए तो हम अपनी किडनी तक बेच देंगे. तो ये एक ऐसी बात थी जो मतलब है कि इस तरह की ये भावना इतनी महान है कि भावना के कारण हम कभी भी मतलब अपनी पढ़ाई की कमिटमेंट से पीछे नहीं हटे. एक बात बताइए, आज अगर आपके पिता आपके सामने खड़े हो तो आप उनसे क्या कहना चाहेंगे? देखिए, मेरे बाबूजी तो अभी मेरे गाँव में है और शायद अगर इस प्रोग्राम को वो देख रहे होंगे तो मैं उनसे यही कहूंगा कि मेरी सफलता असफलता से अलग आपके बेटे होने में मेरी सार्थकता है और बस इसी सार्थकता को जीवन भर महसूस करना है.
प्रेम कुमार जी, कभी सोचा था खेती किसानी करते वक्त एक दिन बेटा सरकारी अफसर, सबसे बड़े सरकारी अफसर की गद्दी पर बैठे?
देखो, जब से इसको पढ़ाई में ख्याल आया तब से मैंने ये सोचा था कि आज की जरूरत नहीं है।
आपको पता था आईएएस क्या होता है?
आईएएस क्या होता है ये पता नहीं था, लेकिन अफसर जो होते हैं मेरे जिला के, उसको तो देखे थे।
हाँ, सही बात है। कभी अपने बेटे से नहीं कहा कि अरे तुम नहीं कर पाओगे, तुम कहा मैं नहीं तुम्हारा खर्चा पढ़ाई का उठा पाऊंगा?
मैं कैसे करूँ, वो कभी नहीं सोचा। मैंने खर्चा उठाने के लिए तैयार था, मेरे पास जमीन थी, जमीन बेच देते मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे मरने के बाद दी। अब वो जमीन मैंने किसको देता मरने के बाद, तो ये मैंने सोचा कि मरने के बाद क्यों मैं अब ये दे दे, और रहेगा तो बेटा का और नहीं रहेगा तो बेटा।
जी के बेटा कैसे हो? आप खाने पाने के ध्यान दीजिए। आप तुम्हारे लिए दूध रोटी होना ही है। आप चीनी में ज्यादा खाना पीना का ध्यान दीजिए। और तुम्हारे लिए हम दुल्हन खरीद के रखे हैं, इसका कोई हुआ है। खाना आपको तैयारी दूध रोटी है। दूध रोटी खाने का शौक? आपसे सारे देश के पिता सीख लें, एक मिसाल कायम की है आपने कि किस तरह से एक पिता अपने बेटे से ये तक कहता है कि मैं ये नहीं कहेंगे कि कोई अपनी किडनी बेचे, लेकिन आपने एक मिसाल कायम की है कि अपना सब कुछ कुर्बान कर बेटे को पढ़ाया, खेत बेचे, आज उनकी लाइफ की तरफ से आपको सम्मानित किया।
I'm sure we all have parents like this, don't we? Yeah. For us, there, so much more. Yeah. Let me just share a couple of more.
अगर मन में हौसला हो तो कोई मंजिल मुश्किल नहीं। यही साबित किया है ऑटो रिक्शा ड्राइवर की बेटी प्रेमा ने। 24 साल की प्रेमा ने सीए यानी ऑल इंडिया चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी एग्जाम में पूरे देश में टॉप किया।
तो और बहुत खुशी हो रही है। जैसे मुझे पता चला, मुझे इंटरव्यू में से कॉमेंट करके ने फोन करके बताया कि हमारा फर्स्ट रैंक आया है, इसलिए मुझे रोना ही आया फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो। एंड बहुत खुशी हुए, बहुत खुशी हुए, शब्द नहीं है कि उसके बताने के लिए।
प्रेमा अपने माता पिता और भाई बहनों के साथ मलाड की तस्वीर खान चौक की एक छोटी सी खोली में रहती है। खास बात यह है कि उनके भाई धनराज ने भी उनके साथ सीए का एग्जाम पास किया। मुंबई की सड़कों पर रिक्शा चलाने वाले प्रेमा के पिता जय कुमार बेरुआ का कहना है कि उन्होंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि उनकी बेटी पूरे देश में अव्वल करेगी। प्रेमा के पिता जय कुमार मूल रूप से तमिलनाडु के रहने वाले थे। वे पिछले 20 साल से ऑटो चलाकर अपने परिवार का गुजारा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनकी तमन्ना थी कि उनके बच्चों की पढ़ाई लिखाई ठीक ठाक। प्रेमा शुरू से ही पढ़ाई लिखाई में अच्छी रही। उन्होंने बीकॉम में मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी में सेकंड रैंक और एमकॉम में फर्स्ट रैंक हासिल की। उनकी प्रतिभा को देखते हुए उन्हें कॉलेज की ओर से 40,000 रुपए की स्कॉलरशिप भी मिली। प्रेमा की कामयाबी से उनके घर वाले बेहद खुश हैं।
हम लोग बहुत तकलीफ उठाया पहले तो, ये 16 दिन के बाद 5 साल के पहले बहुत तकलीफ, तो अभी तकलीफ से हम लोग अब भी गा रहे हैं तो बहुत रिलैक्स है, बहुत खुशी है।
सीए के एग्जाम में पहले नंबर पर आने को प्रेमा अपने जीवन की बड़ी उपलब्धि मानती है। अपनी सफलता का श्रेय वे कई मेहनत और अपने माता पिता को देती है। वे अब अपने माता पिता की मदद करना चाहती हैं। उनकी इच्छा है कि उनके माता पिता को आगे किसी मुश्किल का सामना न करना पड़े और उनके आने वाली जिंदगी आराम से गुजरे। संदीप शुक्ला, न्यूज एक्सप्रेस, मुंबई।
There's one more video. I just to short, in short, I'll tell you. Let's see the video about Prema. The result say, result announced, the media crashed into their home to take their views the very evening. And the same media again crashed into their home next evening also. Why? Because the following day, somebody, there are many billions of millions of people who watched. One of the guys who watched was the early bird to catch the worm. Was nothing but managing director of Indian Bank. तुरंत घर पे पहुंच गई है खबर कि you have been summoned. This is an invitation for parents to come to the Indian Bank. MD's car goes to her home, brings father, mother, everybody to their head office, and in the boardroom, the next following day is at the boardroom. All people are there, and the Indian Bank managing director offers her the job offer, and along with that, he also gives her 3-bedroom flat in Lokhandwala. So go and watch Prema has next story. It is here, but I have not connected it. So you will see there. If you see there are second dot also where you can click and take. Imagine the previous evening, 5 o'clock, she was nobody. The following day, by evening, she was somebody with a large flat. Kohli meaning आपको तो इधर रहना है. That's the word. You don't have to go after money. You have to go after your passion. The world will chase you. Yeah. Let me, perhaps the final thing of this module, let me show something more.
There are dreams chased by many, but realized by few. 26-year-old Suresh Reddy from IIM Calcutta belongs to the Select Club. He was 13 years old when he lost his vision. His parents asked him to quit studies, but Suresh fought on. Armed with new technology and helped by friends, he cracked the IIM entrance. The first person with 100% visual impairment to get admission into the English Management School.
If I say that I'm from X school, people just go walks up. If I say I am, then people say 1 second at it. Hey, this guy seems to be something different. Man. That is the second that I'm looking from others.
In an intensely competitive world, Suresh spends his every waking hour on studies just to be at par. For many at IIM, he's an inspiration.
We thought we are great souls coming into IMC and stuff, but we see this person who's cracked and we say, what have we done?
But it's not just the students of IIM Calcutta who see Suresh as an inspiration, but also the institute, which looks at him both as a challenge as well as an opportunity.
From scanning textbooks to e-books to giving extra attention, the institute too is finding ways to help Reddy.
He also has been exemplary in terms of his motivation levels. So wherever we have been lacking, he has been patient enough. He has been patient enough to give us some time to build those facilities.
But above all, it's hope and self-belief that drives Suresh.
I have no other choice other than being optimistic all through my life, at least to follow. If not, we read.
In Kolkata, Priyanka Gupta.
These stories must have given lot of things. Yeah. Anybody would like to share what these stories gave to you? What is that you are taking home from these stories? Anybody wants to share? Yeah. A fear of positiveness. Okay. If you were to tell I'm sure we are all telling some few things to. I'm telling few things to myself, and you're telling few things to you. What is it you're telling? If you can use I and will or some of those things. Say that.
We are not even aroused from the sentiments which you have shown us now.
Okay. Yeah, and that's why I'm asking. For some of us, it is very quick. Some of us are thinking, and so on so forth.
It instills me a sense of motivation that I should pursue my passion and work hard towards achieving those goals which I have thought about.
What's your good name? Right. Thank you. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Should work on our skills and
नहीं होगा आई के बारे में बात करिए हाँ just a minute. Another thing, see, I'd like to share few things very important for us. We are nothing but what we tell ourselves all the time, isn't it? या हम लोग 24 घंटे कुछ ना कुछ अपने बारे में अपने आप को सुनाते रहते हैं कि नहीं रहते है ना? So the words that we use, the language that we use makes a huge difference because that language evokes the positivity and the language also evokes stress and anxiety. And all happens because what I tell myself. Making sense? For example, if I say, and just some example, yeah? If I say, I should do it, I have to do it. So what is the message that you're telling yourself? What is the emotion that is coming there? I'm making sense? The moment you say, I have to do it, I should do it, it's like actually the locus of control is outside, it is not inside. समझ आ रहा है? क्योंकि यार उस स्ट्रेस में I should do it, इसका मतलब बाहर कुछ हुआ है, वो आपको कह रहा है, भाई साहब तुमको कुछ करना ही पड़ेगा भाई. I have to do it, but it's I will do it. There's a huge difference. I'm making sense? Yeah, what kind of emotions, what kind of stress and what kind of anxiety or what kind of positivity, this depends just on changing the world. Am I making sense? Yeah. जब भी आपको कुछ ठीक कहना हो तो अपने अंदर से पूछ रहे क्यों? 99% of us here sitting here want to do MBA simply because बाहरी दुनिया. MBA अगर हम चाहे ना चाहिए कोई कह रहे हैं दादी वादी आगे बोलेंगे बेटा तू एमबीए जरूर करना आजकल एवरीबॉडी है कि नहीं तू देखो उसको देखो उस बेटे को देखो उस तक पोता को देखो बहुत कुछ कर गया तू भी एमबीए कर हाँ मामा मैं भी करूंगा I'm making sense? Yeah, I have got the moment you tell yourself आपको क्या घर में कोई डंडा मार के भेजा कि 10 बजे जाओ बोला क्या किसी को पता भी नहीं होगा घर में मम्मा बोले सवेरे सवेरे संडे को बोले हाँ मम्मा मुझे जाना है जाने दो नहीं पकड़ो मत जाने दो ऐसा करके आया कुछ नहीं किसी ने बोला कि हरियाणा में कुछ डंडा वंडा मार रहे तुम मत जाओ बीच से बोले नहीं मम्मा मैं जाती रहूंगी. I'm making sense? When you have something from inside telling you come on, then the energy is different, what I do is different. I'm making sense? Then only I will find ways and means to achieve it. Otherwise I have 100 stories why I did not achieve it. Making sense? We have some total of stories that we tell ourselves. You need to understand there is something called in psychology, there is a word called script. The scripts we keep narrating ourselves actually get pronounced in the form of action. And this is a great, each one keep reinforcing the other. The moment you succeed, then there is a script. होता कि नहीं होता है? जिस दिन आपको you are the topper in something, मतलब जब तक रिजल्ट नहीं आया तब तक टेंशन था. जिस दिन रिजल्ट आया एकदम हाँ 98% आ गया तो होल सब मिठाई डब्बे भी करके आए होंगे और अगल बगल के अंकल अपनी बेटी को भी लेके आए होंगे बेटा एक्सलेंट यू आर द गाइड फॉर हार्ट. 15 मिनट पहले मुझे पता नहीं था मेरा टेंशन क्या था इस अंकल को क्या बताएं. I'm making sense? But that achievement of yours topping would reinforce. Yeah, तो मैं बहुत कुछ कर लूंगा. I'm making sense? Now what do you want to say? With I and will.
I should. I will work on my.
and desired success will come sooner or later.
So you also demonstrated something I want to say. These scripts are so strong. Even if you wanted to build, you will say should. समझ आया? या मतलब जो 20-22 साल का पाप एक ही दिन में थोड़ी धुला जाता है. हर बार आप विल करोगे तब जाके शुड हटेगा, अदरवाइज शुड थोड़ी हटेगा. बोले भाई नहीं लूंगा, ऐसा बैठा हूँ, हट इधर से मार लो. हाँ, what was somebody else raised hand? टोपी वाले वहां से बहुत देर से हाथ ऊपर उठा के खड़े हैं. अरे टोपी उठा दिया, टोपी से ही तो आपकी पहचाना में. अच्छा नहीं, वही तो कह रहा हूँ, दुनिया बोलेगी तो सुनो मत, अपनी टोपी पहना कर और बहुत दूर पहुंच.
I was saying we should do what we love.
शुभ नहीं आना है, शुभ नहीं आना है. हाँ,
I will do what I love.
very nice. It's very interesting. Do what you love. Do what you love. But there is more important to it. The most important one is love whatever you do. समझ आया? Do what you love is very important. But more important is love whatever you do. Because you never know where this is going to impact. Yeah? Connecting the dots. कहाँ सुना है? स्टीव जॉब्स. लक्ष्मी बंसल अपने दुकान में स्टीव जॉब किया, उसके बाद अपने दुकान में उसने रख लिया. ठीक है? तो स्टीव जॉब्स ने कहा है, या स्टीव जॉब्स ने कहा है, या he quit his university and continued to stay in a friend's room in the same university, and he went on to pick. How did he fund? How did he sustain? कोक और पेप्सी के बॉटल्स जो इधर उधर फेंका जाता है, वो सब इकट्ठे करके जाता था, उसको बेच के जो पैसा आता था उसके साथ खाना खाता. That is Steve Jobs. Yeah, and बोला मैं इस यूनिवर्सिटी को छोड़ के नहीं जाऊंगा, इस कोर्स को इसलिए छोड़ दिया कि इसमें कोर्स में मजा नहीं आया, और मैंने उन सारे कोर्स में अपने आप को दाखिला कर लिया जो मजा आता है. So one of the course we joined was calligraphy. You may wonder why calligraphy, but he went on to say, you don't know where you will connect the dots. Because of what I learned in calligraphy, the whole scripting on Apple Mac, simply because what I learned at calligraphy. Simply because I was the creator of calligraphy, today Microsoft has espoused. If it not espoused, Microsoft Word will not have sold. So Microsoft Word, even Bill Gates says, thanks to Steve, today I've got wonderful script. समझ आया? ओके, कोई भी चीज बेकार नहीं होती है. जो भी कर रहे, झाड़ू पोछा लगा रहे हैं तो इस कदर लगाए, कोई आके पूछे यार किसने पोछा लगाया है. लेकिन जिंदगी का पोछा रोज लगाना जरूर. ठीक है? With those thoughts, right now I stop because मैं तो जोकर हूँ, बीच में कहीं भी पत्ता फेंक ही सकता हूँ. Yeah, my time is over for now. I want to invite a dear friend, Saji Gopinath. Saji Gopinath has been an institutional creator, and he has been part of IIM Kozhikode team when IIM Kozhikode set the campus in a small corner of the MIT Calicut. And I happened to meet him in 1997 when I went to recruit young warriors for career launcher then. And so we were just sharing. So it's a great privilege to have Saji here today. And Saji has got so much more to say. And he has built multiple institutions. I humbly invite Saji to share your thoughts. Big hand.
Thank you so much, Sreeni, for such a motivating session and all your valuable inputs. I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Saji Gopinath. Saji Gopinath, Dean School of Management, Bennett University. Dr. Saji Gopinath was previously Dean Academics and Professor in area of Operation Management at the prestigious Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, IIMK. It has been associated with IIMK since its inspection in 1997 and has played a key role in making IIMK India's leading business school. Before becoming an academic, Dr. Gopinath worked in industry for 80 years. He consults for corporate including public sector units and Government of India in areas of operation excellence, business strategy, and sustainable development. Now I would like to request Dr. Sreeni to please honor Dr. Saji Gopinath. Thank you.
Good morning. After the great speech by Sreeni, how many of you start breathing? How many of you are breathing more? Excellent. Excellent. Now, the next question we need to ask is that you're giving us a phenomenal examples, right? And how many of you want to do like that? Not many hands. Still, there are few of you who still don't want to or not get excited about the type of things those people have done, the type of things institutions have done. Don't you want to join the institutions and make them really, really big? Some of you said sometime back that I wanted to do a MBA in finance, right? Or some MBA in marketing. Now, this is a short-term goal. Tell me, any one of you, tell me after you do an MBA and you join an organization, what do you want that organization to be? What is your role you wanted to be in that organization? Anyone? Yeah. And do what? Next level.
Everyone sees it's a public bank, and I just wanted to make it international.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, good. Okay. Okay. Good. So I'm a bit surprised that you are in a country where most of the things, any organization you take, the number of non-customers is so larger than the number of customers. None of you want to take those companies grow at 100%, 200%, 500%. You still wanted to keep your goals only limited to a portfolio or to a particular job only? Or do you wanted to say that I'm going to create the next Microsoft from here? Or I'm going to create the next Apple from here? You don't want that? How many of you want that? Okay, tell me, what did you do for doing that?
I want to be a multi-film process. I want to help. I want to do some social work as well.
Okay.
And I want to help other people to achieve their goals, their dreams.
Okay. Okay, good. Anyone else? And do what? Yeah. Yeah, enhancing?
Hello.
Yeah.
As India is losing its heritage in classical vocal music, all the gharanas and all are just vanishing. So I want to re-establish that
Okay,
by
good.
giving it a brand value.
Good.
Now, you are here, and most of you, I think around 80-90% of you are planning to do MBA in a good institution, right? And you wanted to take up a corporate job. But a country like us requires people who dream so big. Because if you see some of the big successes today, something which you see as Flipkart, for example, maybe from a point of view of revenues, they may not be still successful, but something which has made a difference. Or Big Buster, for example, or the bank he said, sometime back, the ICICI Bank which came much later. They all created some big enterprises, right? Now, don't you want to see that after, let's say, 10 years, you should be a Narayan Murthy? Don't you want to become somebody who has created a long-lasting enterprise? And that's a dream what should be. If you look at the stories which Sreeni has given, there is something common in all the stories. What's that? Yeah? Not necessarily. There is an IAS girl. There is a girl who has done CA topper. There is a boy who is blind studying in IIM. Right? And there are entrepreneurs also at the start. But they all have something which is in common. Yes, they dream really big. And once you really dream big, you not necessarily will achieve it, but unless you keep on dreaming and then convert the dreams into thoughts and thoughts into action, you will not be successful. Because he was mentioning in his speech that he can give n number of stories of people who have not achieved also, which is true. In fact, the people who have not achieved is more than people who have achieved. Is it that they have never dreamed? No, they dream, but they have not moved from dream to realization. They have not done anything to realize the dream message. So our next step is, how do I take these dreams? I believe that I have a lot of hands say that, no, this is a dream into reality. How do I translate dream into reality? When I am going to start that, we were the first time to start in a non-metro. It's in a place, I used to hear the first batches. He knows that batches come and say that we are in a forest. We don't know anything. This is a place, they don't even know how to pronounce Kozhikode. So that many of you sitting here also don't know how to pronounce Kozhikode. But in a matter of, and when you start the first program on excellence education through a different platform, people say that this is something which is out of, this cannot be done. So who is going to study sitting in a computer and without a faculty interference, how are they going to study? Because people did not believe it. And that becomes world's number one program, the world's only accredited program in that field. And the institution has much different on that. And I'm sure that you are asked to become. Now the question is, if you really wanted to dream a reality, what the words of Abdul Kalam becomes very important. Dream, but transform that into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. And our step for you is, how are we going to translate this dreams into thoughts and thoughts into action? After you see beautiful videos, you got sentimentally attached, you will feel that, okay, I wanted to do it. That is now. Maybe afternoon? Yeah, I think that's a great video I've seen. But evening, that's a nice section, nice, it was good, and it's out. That's basically what happened with all of us. Otherwise, a country with so much of young minds, so much of powerful, why are we not really making great things? We could have much more greater than what we are, right? And that's basically what the goal setting is all about. You said, some of you said, I already have goals. But do you have a path to reach the goal? The moment I started looking at, say, for example, suppose you wanted to become Bill Gates of tomorrow, what prevents you from becoming that? Yeah? Yeah, but I think more than economics, the moment you start planning, you think about constraints. Hey, I got only 80% guys. I'm not getting an IIM. Oh my God, my life is gone. I'm not well speaking, so my GD was really gone in the last interview, now gone. I couldn't get into IMI. Or I don't have a 10 standard mark, which is good. So now IIMs and others actually look at those things, so I'll not get a call. That's gone. Or maybe I tried 2 years in Kota to get into IIT, but it did not happen, so I had to join some engineering college, and my ACAS is not good, so gone. So I started believing that these constraints will ensure that I will not achieve the goal. Now, all these stories which Sreeni said, none of them had resources. All of them created resources because they believed in that and they created a path for them. So what we need to start looking at is how do we do that? How do we do that? It's just 3 steps. Not great. But remember, simple things are difficult to follow. Great things are very easy to follow. First, you define what you want to be. Second, you plan where you want to be. And third, which is very, very important, you follow the plan. You focus on that. People are focused on that. See the boy who was in IAS topper, not IAS topper, yeah, IAS topper, was speaking Hindi. He did not get initially, right? But he followed. He focused. His resources came along with it. So you are basically ensuring that you will win. Not I should win, but I will win. So the question is that when I define the goal, first some of you said this, that I have this goal. Is it your goal or is the goal set by somebody else? How was the goal set? Why is the goal valuable to you? You need to ask this question. And how do you know that this goal is valuable for us? You must have heard the story about success, right? That somebody went to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and said that I'm not successful, I'm failing in anywhere. So he said that, you know Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, right? So he said that come tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. So the person came at the 4 o'clock in the morning. Swami was in the Ganga, quickly away in the water. He asked the kid to come. The moment he came, he pushed the kid under the water. And obviously, if you're under the water in the cold Ganga in the morning, what happened? Started shivering. You are not able to breathe. The kid was about to die. He was released. So he gasped and came out. And Swami asked, "What was your feeling when you were under the water?" Huh? No, I wanted air. I wanted oxygen. I wanted oxygen. That was my only feeling. And he said, the moment you need success like that, that is, if I feel that just the breath which I wanted to leave is there, and I strive for that, then I will win. Otherwise, this is not necessarily the case. No, I have a parent to take care of it. I have something else. These sort of the things you keep on wavering. So that's basically what we say, that is that really valuable and motivating, and it is also realistic. That's important. And how do we do it? And that's I don't take much of time. Maybe if you have some questions, I can refer to that. We need to do some sort of a personal sort. The reason why I just put there is many times we get stuck. We are not able to do, or we are not able to do planning because we get stuck in our beliefs. And the beliefs create the problem. The first thing which we say is that we look at our internal competencies. Now, what you feel you have may not be necessarily your competence. Same way, you have your own weaknesses, which again you see as the constraints, not necessarily the constraints. And finally, you need that other two are equally important. What is the type of opportunities which somebody else provides? So for example, somebody was saying here that I wanted to become an entrepreneur. Do an MBA education really help you to become an entrepreneur? What percentage of people has really become entrepreneurs from coming from top schools? Do they really provide those things? Have you asked this question? For an entrepreneur, is that enough? What makes an entrepreneur successful? Idea, that's knowledge. What else? Yes, see, vision, idea is there with almost all people, right? Whoever else want to go. But that's not enough. You need 3 things: knowledge or idea. Let's go. You also need contacts. See, this is basically the contacts which help you to get businesses. And third is funding. So unless you get these 3 things, you will not be able to really make big in a normal way. Now, do our colleges give you these things? You ask the question. Do any college do that? Do any university give that? Do they have something which actually helps you to realize this? So those questions are basically the questions you ask, because more often, most of the things which you have, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities which you see are all real, which you think as real are perceived. So for example, I just give one example. When Air Deccan, you know Air Deccan, right? When Air Deccan came, it became a successful. Later it became a failure when the next company took over it. But why was it successful? Why was Air Deccan successful? Anyone? Because you are all planning to get into business education. Why was Air Deccan successful? Whom did they actually target? You know about Air Deccan or not? Which was not flying, right? It was not flying. Why were they not flying? That's what you feel as the perceived cost. People believe that people are not flying because people don't have money to fly. But in reality, there are places in India where people are very rich. For example, Dharamshala, Jamshedpur, Aurangabad. Do you think that people there are all very poor? They cannot fly? No, Bellary, for example, in South, this is a place where a lot of helicopters are there. But what happened? No airline ever thought that you need to go there. Why Air Deccan become successful is they found that the real cause of people not flying is because no aircraft goes there. So if I can create a smaller aircraft and go to smaller places, I get a big business over there. That's the real cause, not just only the money. Of course, money is one of the cause. So Air Deccan becomes successful not just because they created a low-cost airline, but an airline which connects the Indian cities which were not done. Look at almost all newer successes. Look at even like your iPads or as a product, Apple second generation, any of them, they all started questioning whether the perceived factors are right or not. And in an individual level, you ask this question. What do you think as the limitation? What do you think as the strength? Are they really right or not? The path which you are planning to take, because if it's a career junction, you think about getting into a career of, let's say, an MBA or a career of banking or something. Is this the right for me or not? Is something really, really question. For that, the first is obviously the knowledge part. Because when you see a figure like this, at the outset, you think it is a girl. But when you go into the detail, you see there was no girl. It was something else. Same is the case with most of us when we look at an institution, when you look at a program, what we see in the outside is not what it is really got. So, for example, some of you said, I wanted a thing in finance. I've really gone to the college and see what type of finance companies are coming there, what type of finance education is happening there, or we just dismiss or we say that, well, everybody goes there, so I will also do that. Just like I set the goal, compare it with somebody else, I follow the path also by looking at something else. In a country which is have to have a huge growth in the front, we cannot emulate. We have to, we cannot emulate what we should do. We should innovate. We should create our own paths. The people whom you have seen are all people who have created their own paths. Now the question is, are you able to create your own path or not? Is what I think you need to think about it. And your plan of action, the institutions which you look at, you need to start asking this question. So when I joined Bennett just a couple of months back, people ask the question that why do you leave an IIM and join a new university? My answer is very simple. You look at Times of India. Across the world, paper sales are going down. In India, paper sales are going up. Across the world, paper companies are going down. In India, paper companies are going up. The people think that the failures of companies are the real estate companies are failing, and so India is actually making more money from supporting the real estate. Why? Because they think differently. They think innovatively. They think that they believe that in a country which is unserved, space is much more than that. We believe that in an MBA, the unserved market of MBA is bigger than the served market of MBA. So you have such a large number. You don't have a school which is actually make entrepreneurs here. You don't have a school which really creates business acceleration. Everybody teaches business administration. This becomes within acceleration administration. What is administration? Follow the rules. What is acceleration? Break the rules create new businesses. So what Bennett does is that, and I'm sure that there are others also like that. So basically, when you create your specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and time-bound goals, which we call as SMART goals, you create a path to do it. I'll not go into each of these in detail because we have a time limitation. But one thing which I wanted to speak and then stop, we need to plan on smaller schemes. And that's basically why you are saying, I want to get into IIM or I want to get into IIMX. So, but that mini goals, when you achieve, have to reach your final goal person. And finally, we need to have really focused and focused, assign the sub goals, and finally revise and set higher goals. But failures are more common than success. So we must have heard maybe one Bill Gates was dropped out of a top school and then become a millionaire. There are many others who have dropped out of that school and continue to be on the streets. Right? That's why we are studying. Otherwise, we can always say that why do you want to do an education? So whatever stories you have heard are all people who have dropped out of schools and doing it. That does not mean that that's a necessary condition for it. So the reason why we are looking at this, we wanted to make sure that this fail point doesn't happen. And the first fail point is the belief. The definition of success and the fear of failure. And more often than not, your perception that this is what it is actually blocks you. You don't look at the choices. You don't look at the challenges. You don't look at the things which are different. We will go on what we call as a surplus society. Everybody does, we will also do the same way. The second is whether I have a larger purpose. It is very nice saying that I have a very philanthropic objective. Do you have a real larger purpose? At the end, did I make change to somebody else's life? Whose goal is it? Is my goal or is it somebody else's goal? And the last, but most important is you should have the 100% commitment that goal. But remember, an additional element which I said first, and I think that's what the next session will speak about, is you also need knowledge. So knowledge, belief, purpose, commitment, and then if you dream and keep on dreaming like what he spoke about, let's see some of these things. Yes. And dreams which don't put you to sleep, but dreams which will make you keep on awake. So wish you all a sleepless days, but full of dreaming, ensuring that you all get into top positions in whichever type of dream which you have. Realize your dream. Thank you very much. And I'm sure that seeing the type of enthusiasm, you will see a lot of people getting into the top business and other elements. Yeah? Yeah, sure.
Hello. The people who have got 99.96 are not even able to get the call from IMA. Even Kozhikode for that sake doesn't call the person at even if calls a person at 94, doesn't call a person at 98. So why are our old sins counting when we are appearing for these MBA entrance examinations? Old sins stand to have graduation percentages.
No, basically what you say is every institution also may have its own criteria for looking at the person. Okay, and they basically will be looking at maybe consistency of performance. That's the institution's character. That's the institution's part. That's not their focus. Their focus.
Why don't they get a chance even to prove themselves at the next round?
See, good institutions believe that it is not that they are the only ones where a person with a dream can. They have a path. They have an objective. This is where we want to be. And for that path, they created a path. If that path, they will actually have a very clear cut what we want. Whether that is right or not is a different question. Because we will not know whether it's right or not. But they are focused on it. That's the reason for it. But that's not in any way going to stop you from achieving it. Just because you are not in IMA, God,